Hi everyone, Ellen Campbell here, and today I'll be doing a little hand sewing. I've already made one of my blocks. It is the Sawtooth star block, and I will be creating a few more of these in a different colors. And I am on a emergency vacation, I guess you can say. I'm right now in the middle of my hometown of Mississippi. So I'm gonna share with you this block. I've been calling myself trying to make this block for the longest, but this is the Sawtooth. I have a pile of squares cut out here. And I have a pen. I like the little cute diamond. And my scissors. And I also have a needle threader, which helps me to thread the hand needles. I have another one, but I left it behind. I had packed up in something else, and I have a few squares here with different colors you can see through here. And I'm gonna create some sawtooth blocks. Okay. Oh, and I picked up a pack of the number 28 hand sewing needles at Walmart. Get a close up. And I'm ready to begin. I have some thread. I'm using some surgical cotton thread to hand sew my blocks with. That one was purple, so I'm doing a green one. What I do is I line it up from the side edges all around on the outer side. On my 3.5-inch cut white square blocks. And these are 2.5-inch cut blocks that I hand cut when I was home. I'm in a swap with these blocks, and I have 30 of them I have to make. So while I'm away from home, I'm going to hand sew a few. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this needle pack and I'm going to line it from corner to corner. That's how I draw my line, and I just take this and mark it. It helps me in knowing the direction I'm going, what it should look like, and what it's gonna come out to be. Okay, got that marked good. Lay that over. You can see my markings. And I'm gonna take that line and my threaded needle. I already been sewing, so. And I start off what I do is I kind of do a whip stitch on the end. That's just my preference. Anyone else can do something different. Then I rock my needle into the fabric to make an accordion seam. And the reason I like doing it like this to get that little bunch, make a small accordion seam, is because when you sew like that, your stitches be much smaller. They can pretty much be small as a sewing machine stitch. You have to work with the tip of the needle and not worry about the length of the needle. So it's basically the tip doing all the work. This brings back memories when I was sewing with my mother. It is so enjoyable. And even with whatever going on with my wrist right now, I'm still able to do this little sewing. It's not really stressing my hand out or anything. I'm holding it up now just so y'all can kind of see what I'm doing here. And that tip, make sure you have a good sharp tip needle. Take your time and just work it on in there. Rock your needle back and forward. I'm trying to use much as my thread as possible. And I'm following this line I have marked out on the fabric. And by my wrist on this side being a little sore right now, I fell on it again. Hope I ain't broke nothing. But I'll get it checked out soon. Okay. Making my way to this end. Make that loop, run your needle under it, make that loop again, run your needle under it. That one kind of got away from me, so I'll try it again. Make that loop. Make that loop and run this needle through the loop, which helps ties the thread in. I tie them like that so they won't come loose. They won't have a reason to come loose or be loosened. It just locks it in. My thread this time is extremely short, so I cut my thread, and I have this small piece of thread left. I'm just gonna remove that out and save it. I don't even have my pen cushion with me, so I stuck my needle in the top of my thread. And if you can see this little line, that's my seam. So when I am done, I come to this seam and I eyeballed it for 1/4 inch. You have to leave that seam allowance of 1/4 inch and cut the remaining off. Oh wait, I have this left. I'm gonna lay it on my little table, and for the seam, you open it out. I'm opening it out with the color on top, so when I get it open and press, my seam will lay behind the darker side of the fabric. So I'm going to lay it here, and I'm going to finger press it open. I don't even have my wooden press with me. I just realized it. Voila, this is what you have. This is what you would get. And next, you get your other point. Putting right sides together. Line it up to the outer edges. Make sure all corners is lined up so it'll come out correctly. All right. This is what I have lined up. Now I will take my pencil and my needle pack and I will line this from corner to corner, making sure I have corner to corner alignment. And I will lay it down on my lap and mark out my corners. So it really don't matter if you have a sewing machine or not. If you want to quilt and sew, you can still do it by hand. And just make sure you mark your seam so it'll keep you on a course or straight. It'll keep you on target from corner to corner. And these are the outer corners, and it gonna create the points for the stars as I have these points here on these stars, which is quite beautiful for a Sawtooth star block. Now I need to thread my needle. Well, I'm going to thread my needle. Excuse me right now. I'm doing a live video, so can you please leave this where I can reach it, please? Thank you. Okay. I use this needle threader to find the hole in my needle, and it helps me. I don't have to fuss. If I can't see the hole, all I have to do is get the thread through the needle threader eye and pull it through. I love these things. And this one is a new one because it has a little cutter on the back. You can save these and keep that cutter on it and attach it to something else to cut thread when you're chain stitching, which is a good idea. Super glue it to something if you have to. Take a spool that is empty, super glue it to the top of that spool, and use it as a chain thread cutter. So I want kind of a nice lengthy amount of thread. So okay. On the end of my thread, it have to have a knot. I simply catch it. I dampen my finger. And there you go. I did a double wrap, which gave me a huge knot. And I like these big knots because fabrics are made of threads. And certain fabric you can pull on, the knot will go straight through the fabric. So I line my right sides together, back up once again. And I start sewing from corner. From corner to corner. And the rocking of the fabric and the needle together give you nice, beautiful stitches. I only can do so many in one pull, or I have a problem pulling through my needle because of my hand condition. And I can just sit down and do this all day long. If I sit down all day long doing it, I forget to eat. I forget a lot of stuff until bathroom time calls. But yes, you can sew. You can be a quilter. You can do it all by hands if you choose to. But this is hand sewing quilt pieces. My mom used to just love to sew and make quilts and piece, and it brought her so much joy. It brought her so much peace and so much joy. And I enjoyed watching my mom be happy in her happy place, doing things that really, really made her happy. And when I saw that in her, I joined in quite naturally. If this make my mama happy, I'm going to help make her happy. And I just continued on. Every time I think about sewing or hand sewing, I think about my mom. She's no longer with me at the moment, but all the skills, all the knowledge she have taught me over the years keep coming back more and more, more and more. Because for a while I had stopped sewing after I got married and had my first child. I stopped sewing. Well, I stopped sewing like I was sew every day. I still made a quilt here and there, one or two. And I started back after I moved to Indiana, stayed 3 years, and moved back home. I couldn't get used to the fast tempo of the city. And now I'm right back in Indiana. But where I'm at now is not so bad. It's pretty nice and decent. I guess my nerves at that time couldn't take it where I was. When you live in the country all your life and move and go to the city, then you get introduced to strange noises. You get introduced to gunfire and cars, and it's a lot. It was pretty stressful for me to deal with, and I wound up moving back to Mississippi. But now I think I can deal with it a little bit more better. It don't bother me as much. Even though I still get to learn and see new things, do different things, I have a larger church experience, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Okay. I tried to slide my thread, and when it won't slide for me, I come back to the eye of the needle and I tries to separate the thread. If it'll let me separate. There. It get all twisted up. Don't want to separate. But this is the only way to slide the thread. If I can get a finger. There you go. Look at that. It'll twist up into a knot on you if you can't get it to untwist. There you go. But I needed that to untwist so I can readjust my thread to have the side that I'm gonna yeah, got me a knot. So I can relax that and let it hang on the other side. Okay. Here's my seam. And I'm gonna eyeball it for a quarter of an inch. And trim it off. It trims off all the way across that other seam line. And I'm going to open it up, give it a finger press. Open it up, finger press, and voila. Ooh. That's 2 of my points for a part of the star block, which you can kind of see if I kind of show you. It will fit something like this. And it goes on to another white of the 3.5 inch blocks. And I do this. I have to have 4 of these created to make 1 of these blocks. So create 4 of these first, and then you can make 1 of these complete block. That's it. Thank you for watching my video. I will continue to make some more, but thank you for watching. And share with your friends. If you're not a subscriber to my channel yet, please, if you would like to, go on do so. If you have anyone you would like to get them to join in, get them to join in. Find my link and share it with your friends. I appreciate you watching. Thank you. Have a blessed day.